with people that can inspire us and motivate us and educate us because I'm a lifelong learner. I love learning from other people and I love that I don't have to figure everything out on my own, that I don't have to be an expert in all the things, and that I can be around people like you who could be an expert in branding and speaking and all of the amazing things that you do. So Ramon, I love you and I appreciate you. Um, BWC community, thank you for being here, listening to me, uh, engaging with me. I hope that it was a value for you and that you're taking at least one thing away from you today. So thank you all. And Ramon, I turn it over to you, my friend.
Hey, Lewis, I appreciate it. Love you too. So glad you're here. All right, all right, all right. Good morning. Good morning. I'm live streaming on the IG side, live streaming on other platforms. On the IG, you say you can't hear me. Okay, let's see if I can fix that. You can't hear me. Why can't you hear me on the IG side? Okay, I hear Larissa. That's good. Do you hear Ramon now, Stars Tina? But of course, you wouldn't know if you're hearing me because if you can't hear me, you can't hear me. You hear Larissa, not Ramon. Let's see. Why is that? Okay, you can hear me. Good, 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 good. Good morning, good morning. Stars Tina, you are absolutely amazing. You're like on fire and everywhere. So appreciate you being here today. And I'm going to share a little private link here real quick here as I go live across multiple platforms. I'm just going to put this link here to my secret BWC page here, to our little host page. Anybody who wants to join me, and those who are seeing this, is hard to type and talk, but that link that I just shared to our all mods, if anybody wants to join me here on video, you're welcome to join me. So let's begin again, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Champions, motivation, education, inspiration with a liberal dose of positivity. It's so good to have you here today. We have live programming at 5 a.m. and we're all about helping you live your best life or start or grow your business. We have several things planned for you today. Normally, this is Alexander Gonzalez's segment. He couldn't be here today, so I'm filling in here at the last minute to carry this show. We'll be here till about 8:30 today, so I have about whatever 7:17 to 8:30 is, and then Dre Baldwin is going to join us and carry on his segment. And I hope you're doing well on this Monday. And good morning to those who are joining on Instagram. And good morning to those that will be joining probably across a variety of other platforms. Facebook, several platforms there, my groups and pages, YouTube, Zone of Genius, and we're live streaming on Twitter as well. So it's been a brand new day. It's been a brand new week. It's a brand new month as we're jumping in here today. This is the month of April, and it's been a busy, busy January, February, March. For me, it's been, and I look forward to April onwards being just as busy. And a few things I want to share today is really what I'm going to call the entrepreneurial success kit. And one thing I will tell to the BWC ops, that link I shared there in the all mods, let's keep that one private. That is just for those to kind of join me live. But since you shared it, let's see what happens. That's okay. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But we can keep the celebrity CEO in the main clubhouse chat. That's fine. Yeah, that one's kind of people join me on video. Those I know. We don't want no spammers on there. So what can you do to always be ready? And first, let me just take a pause before I share. And let's do celebration. This is the month of April. Anyone on the Clubhouse side or IG side, if you want to join me, by the way, on IG as well, anybody want to come off mic and do a celebration? Anything they want to celebrate. Anything they want to say, Ramon, I'm happy about this, or even so, be that they're stuck on. Before I jump on, I have a whole segment I'm going to do, but I liked what Glenn did last week where he had a moment of celebration. Anybody want to come off and say, Ramon, I'm celebrating this? Let me know. I'll pause for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I want to celebrate being a part of the BWC family, being a host. I love it, love it. I don't know if there's a date. I don't know if there's a time, but I'm just feeling amazing and loving it. That's what I want to celebrate, the growth of my business. That's it, Ramon.
I love it, Tina. Do you have 2 more minutes, Tina?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. What do you love about it, Tina? What do you love about being a part of this community? I do as well, and I won't keep you too long in case you got some things to do. But what do you love about it? And the second question I do want to ask, how have you seen that growth? Because I don't know what the numbers look like, and the numbers are slightly secondary, Tina, but I have definitely, as I've told you in person, seen a dramatic shift in your business and your visibility over the last 3 to 6 months, something like that. So one, what do you love most about this community, especially being a host, Tina, being a host? And then 2, how's it helped your business?
Yeah. So first of all, whenever I hear Ramon speaking, I block everything out. It's like, okay, you got to wait unless it's a client. So I have time. I've seen the growth. It's helped with my confidence, knowing that it's not just me. I have people to lean on. If I have a question, I'll hit you up every now and again.
Absolutely.
And then the learning, let me tell you, if you're not a part of this community, it's free education. I learn so much every single day. Like I said in my segment earlier, I'm constantly learning, constantly training, and the consistency, I'm looking at my numbers, which I never really did before, and I am growing and I'm loving it. It's just amazing.
Tina, I love it. We're glad you are here. Stars Tina, you definitely want to check out all the things she does. Thank you, Tina, for sharing. Anybody else want to celebrate, do a shout out before we move on with today's segment? And those who are on IG, I see you commenting as well. Ama Preem says, I'm celebrating my life. I'm happy and grateful for my health and this new season of growth and personal development journey. And those of you on IG, you can now join me live on video and everybody will hear it. So if you want to join me, just put your request camera up on IG as well. Anybody on the Clubhouse side, real quick before we move on, want to do
It's Babs, Ramon.
Babs, the mic is all yours.
Hi, how you doing,
I feel
everyone?
great.
And Ramon, thanks so much for opening us up. And I'm celebrating. I'm really excited. I'm super excited to be moving. One is to be able to do the podcast with Glenn and with Kim. It was so amazing, exciting. Taking tools for them it even put me in motion and said, okay, listen, you got to really get out there and stop hiding. So that's a celebration for me because now I'm in motion.
And what does it mean, Babs, for you to stop hiding? Tell us a bit more what that means for you. What were you doing and what are you doing now?
Well, actually, I empower speakers, and I always listen, and I can hear things, and I say, you know what? I started a whole series called Pro Tools for Public Speakers, so we can empower the voice.
Pro Tools for Public Speakers. I love that because I'm a speaker too, so I'm gonna get some of this, Babs. So feel free to promote yourself. Feel free. This is the time to do that. This is interesting. Go ahead.
Yes, so I do Pro Tools for Public Speakers. There are tools and tips that every public speaker needs in order for them to continue to go forth and empower the world. Whether it is when you get up. Now, for you, Ramon, you are a fast talker. Well, in order for you to get those articulators moving, there should be some vocal warm-ups and things that you do in order for your articulators to move. Not everyone can get up and start speaking with such clarity and diction as you do. So I teach them how to be able to prep themselves so they can get on major stages.
Wow. And your voice is so clear and articulate too, Babs. So thank you. You're living what you share. So everybody, let me know. Do tell us, Babs, how we can reach you and what your best web page is or handle, whatever it is. Do tell us that because I think a lot of people here who want to be speakers, who want to be better at speaking. And as you said, Babs, indeed, the clarity, the diction, the engagement, the information, it's very important. Babs, how can we reach you to learn more about this?
You can always hit me up on Instagram at Vocal Coach. And my website is internationalvocalcoach.com. So, and I'm always sharing tips. And I actually have a free gift, which I have created vocal warm-ups for public speakers. So if you want that gift, make sure that you go onto my page and let me know, or just hit me on the back channel and I'll be more than happy to help you.
I love it. Babs, thanks for joining us. So appreciate it. So appreciate it. Breaking news, everybody. This has never been done on Breakfast with Champions like this, at least. Breaking news. Stars Tina has joined the live video feed today. So glad you joined, Stars Tina. So Stars Tina is going to co-host this with me as much time as she has, to be here with me as we go through this. And what I like about this, Tina, is that the people on my Instagram can hear you. People on Clubhouse can hear you. We're live streaming across multiple platforms, and this is a preview, Tina, of what's going to come April 10th. And Tina, you probably didn't know it yet, but maybe you do. But also, when we prepare better for it, you will be able to stream your live video feed to your audience. So we're using everybody the tool, and Tina's going to join me here in a minute. We're going to use the tool of StreamYard. What's coming up, Tina, on April 10th, as you know, we'll be doing, I'll just preview it here. We've been doing a lot of work in the background, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m., 10 April. I'm going to declare it now, Tina. Now the cat's out of the box. An all new Breakfast with Champions that I've been working on. We will still be on Clubhouse. We will still be doing other things we're doing, but 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. will be a more tightly scripted live show that I'll be producing. So I'm very excited about that. Tina, Talk to us. What's going on with you? What's your advice? How do you feel about this new live program that's coming out? And then I do want to jump into a segment. And if you have the time, Tina, stay with me and you can co-host with me and we'll see how this goes. But I want to talk about, I'll tell you what I'm going to talk about in a minute, but talk about 10 April, how nervous or how excited or how whatever you're doing to be on live video. If you wish for 4 hours, you don't have to. You have a segment, but you have the option to do things like this. Talk to us.
Exactly. Well, like you just said, being scared, being a little nervous. So when I saw you put the link in the chat, I was like, do I go on? Do I not? And I was like, press. And I did it. And I'm here right now. And yes, it is a little scary. I do go live every single day on my own channels, but it's different when you have professionals like Ramon, who's spoken with famous people and done amazing things. So it's like, okay, right now I want to put my lip gloss on because I forgot to put it on. And it's like, how am I looking? And like you said, showing up in front of the world.
We can do it together, by the way. We can do it together.
Your bliss sticks. Yeah. Showing up in front of the world for me, at least, you know, I was saying the other day with Marcus Black, like men, they're lucky.
Yeah,
they just get up and go. But no, we have to worry about our hair, mask. Like I taught class this morning, so I did a little something. Sure. But I'm super excited to bring BWC, what you're doing, to the world because it changed my life. And I've been an entrepreneur for years. Not saying I made any money, but I loved it. So I love the fact that now I'm actually making money with what I do. And a lot of it has to do with BWC. So there's people that are watching this that are out there. I see. Is that L.I. Hayes?
Lee Hayes. And Tina, let me tell you, Lee Hayes has also, as you know, I'm a member of the National Great Humans of the World organization, which I just formed a few minutes ago with Larissa. Lee Hayes is number 13 of the good humans of the world. Lee Hayes is my, I don't want to use the word Asian, but let me just put, she is the secret whisperer who books me on a lot of my stages. I am in her stable. So she is one of my secret weapons. And I don't have a lot of weapons, Tina. So that's who Lee Hayes is. Go ahead,
so
Tina.
Lee Hayes, you need to know who I am then, because I am like, Ramon is one of my mentors when it comes to public speaking, and I love it. And I love the background you have here. It's so professional, so clean. And I think you're doing amazing. You know, everyone that's out there, we love you. And stop getting me with the practical jokes because I don't like it.
I love it, Tina. So let me jump into my segment again. Stay here as long as you want. I want you here, love it. But if you got to slip away, let me teach while I'm doing this, everybody. When things are unscripted and unplanned, I'm giving clarity loud with verbal cues. I don't know if you hear that. So I'm just gonna tell you what's going on. I put in this kind of quote unquote secret link of how to get on StreamYard to our mod chat. I put that in. One of our team members, right, put it for all. I miscommunicated. So as I'm speaking, I just gave some clarity instructions. It was changed, right? And that we're working with Christine. I'll just say it out. So I'm just showing why I'm saying this to Tina, why I said this to Larissa. I don't know what Larissa has on her plate. I don't know what Tina has. So I'm just, if it's helpful, not teaching because I'm anything, I'm just letting you all know how I roll. I sometimes give verbal cues on the side, and those who are listening hear it. I guess because I'm a piano player, Tina, so I'm used to talking to the audience one thing and with this hand going like this. The person who needs to know what that means knows what that means. So that's kind of as I tell Tina, so she hears, okay, good. She can, not that she's nervous, but meaning she can know, great. If I got to go, Ramon doesn't mind. That's why I give these subtle verbal cues, because we're live on IG, we're live on cross platforms on video, and we're on Clubhouse. All right, let me keep going on here, Tina. So here, Tina, what's happening? We're going to get into something slightly sad, but then I'm going to bring it up, Tina, and feel free to stay with me. We can talk about this through each point. So Tina, a friend of mine, her name was Cecile, and she was a loved member of my church in Brooklyn, and she passed away untimely, as they say, Tina, all of a sudden. And so I just want to honor her as I start some points I have here, Tina. Her name was Cecile, and she was loved in one of our churches. And so that was a sad thing that happened last Friday. But the lesson, Tina, is that it got me thinking, this could happen, Tina, to you, to me. This could happen to IMK Patrice on IG. This could happen to Christina, to Larissa, to Yin, to Dr. Jenny Lacey's here. This could happen to anyone, Tina. So it got me thinking, what can we do as business owners to be prepared? And maybe what I'll do, Tina, is walk through just a few things that I wrote, and I'll pause each one and see what you think about it. Or maybe you have a follow-up question. We'll play along like that. So one thing I wrote down, Tina, is finances. And I do think that if Tina, something were to happen to her, right? Tina said very vulnerably, she had to check out something in her body or something and check something out. This happens to all of us, right? Especially as we get older. So what happens? Now, Tina, have something. Wait for it, everyone. Wait for it. Please don't get upset at me. But it's called a death folder. And my wife doesn't like me talking about it too much. But in that folder, Tina, I have a few instructions of things that I talk that my family, my wife, who's not like a partner in my business, she doesn't really know, not in a bad way, just, that's how we roll. She's not in the Ramon Ray empire, but she needs to know it if I pass away. So let me pause there, Tina. Does that make any sense? This kind of death folder that I have where my family can quickly open it and know, oh, here's dad or hubby's bank accounts. Here's who he should. I even have in there, Tina, who are people who I trust, who, hey, to my wife, if you don't know about finances, about banking, that's not of interest to you, you can talk to these 3 people and tell them all my business, and they will help you. Let me pause there, Tina. What do you think about that kind of thing?
That's magical. And I'm doing it for myself as well as with my clients, because I work with a lot of clients that have gone through traumas. They've lost people. And recently I have a client, it's 3 months that her mother passed away, and she's still going through the estate, the this, the that. I love the death folder idea. And I think more people should do it, because death, in my opinion, is a joyous occasion. As you know, my son was murdered, and his funeral and the whole thing, it was a party. I told people, I don't want us sad. I don't want us crying, because he wouldn't want that. So it was a turn up party for real, legit. So I think the death folder would make the experience so much better for the family. So they're not arguing, well, who's in charge of this? Well, who's getting this? Well, who's getting that? And you don't have to have a whole lot of things. Just, like money and cars and that whole thing, but say, you know what? I really want these earrings to go to my daughter. And then it makes them feel special. Maybe little notes for people. And I don't think it's more, but it's just life. It's what happens. We live, we die, and it's a wonderful experience. So I love the death folder. I wrote it down, and I'm going to share it.
Absolutely. To get everybody, this is Breakfast with Champions. We are live streaming across a multiplicity of platforms. We are live streaming on Instagram. We are live streaming on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, across using the tool called StreamYard. We are live streaming and talking on Clubhouse. We have the amazing Christina Howard, who has stepped up her game in being like our live producer. Christina, thank you so very much. Anybody on the IG side, it may cause a bit of confusion, but who wants to join me also on either on IG, but those of you who are BWC mods, good morning, Michelle. You all can look at our BWC host chat, and you can come on the StreamYard link here as well. And Tina, to that point, what happens, for example, another part of that death folder, Tina, is that what happens, for example, something happens to you tragically, your clients, they're used to you every Monday at 8 coming. Eventually they find out. But if you have that kind of folder, your children or your boo, whoever in your life knows, oh, this is a sad time. We can pick up Tina's phone and just do one message, right? And say, hey, everybody, just so you know, this happened to Tina. Or she got sick. She'll be offline for 3 months.
Ooh.
That's where that folder comes in, because to me, it's the banking and finance. But I think a good lawyer or legal people can take care of that after certain days. You can walk to the bank and figure it out. But nobody knows like this. How will Ramon's 50,000 followers know? Oh, eventually they'll find out. But if they're used to Ramon doing something, it's good that my wife or my son, he could say, hey guys, so you know. So any further feedback on that, Tina?
Yes, I want to add on to the death folder, and I just wrote it down. Video. I'm making a video. When I went to Paris, sometimes I get these weird feelings, and I wrote a whole book, and I sent it to my family in case I died. No one replied. But a video, could you imagine that? Like, hey, I'm gone now, but still have, a death video. That's what I'm adding. It might sound crazy.
No, it sounds great. And by the way, Tina, while we're here, thank you for joining me. Feel free to tell people who you are. This is Ramon Ray, the voice you're hearing. This is Ramon Ray, celebrity CEO. Tina, talk to us one more time about who you are before as we continue the, preview of the Ramon Ray show. Tina, tell us.
Yes, this is a preview of the Ramon Ray show. And I actually met Ramon about 2.5 years ago when he was hosting / getting food, being everything for one of Glenn Lundy's event, and I met him, and we've just been cultivating this relationship since then. And I'm so grateful to be one of the hosts of Breakfast with Champions, which is the #1 morning show. And I'm a trauma energy coach. I run an online fitness boutique studio. That is my passion. I love it, love it, love it. And I use fitness to support women to get through traumas or tragedies. That's what I do. That's simple. And you can just simply starstina.com and find all my information.
I love it. And Tina, I see you living that out, and you definitely are the energy bunny or whatever word, healthy movement people call yourselves. So Tina, you live that out. Number 2, and again, everybody, welcome to Breakfast with Champions. We live stream across a variety of platforms. Feel free, especially LinkedIn, have pretty good commenting, like Lee Hayes did. Proud to be in her, a stallion in her stable. Thanks for being here, Lee Hayes, and others who want to comment, especially LinkedIn seems to be doing it well. Number 2, another thing I think, Tina, that I tried to do, and again, we're talking with Tina, stars Tina live on across platforms. Thanks for those who are on IG and are definitely our Clubhouse family, is really to talk to my family about what I'm doing. You know, and everybody have different relations. Everybody have different things they're doing. Some people, their families all in their business, meaning all part of it. But I definitely try to, at least Pastor Jeff just joined on IG, I definitely try to do my best to at least share and explain how business works. And I want to pause, Tina, and give a comment. Oh, this is nice. Michelle says, I will absolutely show up on the live stream. That's going to be a regular thing. LOL, be in the hair and makeup next. I love it. Regarding an 80s themed event. All right. Michelle McLean's in the house on Clubhouse, and she's affirming that she'll be there, as you said, you know, when she gets her glam on. But the point being is educating, yes, Tina, is my family, and educating to the level they want. But my daughter, for example, she's a full-time teacher. She's been fully declared that, Dad, I don't want to be an entrepreneur. And hey, Susan Sullivan, good to have you here, Queen. I don't want to be in business, which I respect. But I do sit down with her and Alicia, and she sees what's happening, if that makes sense. She kind of knows what's going on. This is beyond the death folder. She just, you know, just my family's aware. Here's how Dad makes money. Here's how hubby makes money. Because I think sometimes what we do, Tina, can be a bit eclectic, can be a bit different, especially for those who don't know. You know, many people, I think, because of Shark Tank, entrepreneurism has been publicized, has been out there. But many people, Tina, I know that when I first, you know, you'll mention my church a lot, but that's one community I'm in. When I used to come to church quite a bit, they'd have a long face. Oh, Ramon, we hope you get a job. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I got a job. I'm just not an accountant. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I don't work for the NJ Transit. You know, people get that. Oh, they want to pigeonhole me like, oh, a speaker, I guess. When you get a real job, you'll stop being a speaker. I'm like, no. I get paid $20,000 every time I go on stage. Not every time, but, you know, every time I get a paid gig. So talk about that, Tina. You have, by the way, a fan here. Beth Change for Fitness says, Stars Tina is a master at showing women how they can take their traumas and turn them into triumph. So, Tina, point number 2, this aspect of just educating our families and letting them know what we do. Talk about that, Tina. What does that mean to you?
Oh my gosh, we are so in sync right now, because I recently had 2 separate conversations, because some of my family get it, like my daughter, because she's a professional, you know, entrepreneur. And then the other side is like, all she does is party and have fun. And I'm like, someone's like, you're not looking for a job. I'm like, hello, I'm working every day. Like, are you crazy? I love what I do, so it doesn't feel like work. And people look at me and they're like, all you're doing is exercising. All you're doing is working out. No, that's not true. So what I did is exactly what you said. I explained what I was doing, why I was doing it, and how I was doing it, so they could understand and have some grace. Also, so they could support me, because sometimes people don't even know what you do. Hello, I run a fitness studio. You're trying to lose weight? Hello, I'm the queen of that. Hello, share your friends and family. So when you're running your business, it's important to let your family know, so they know when to bother you, when not to bother you. You know, I put my curtain down. My curtain down, don't come in this space right here. Tina's working, okay? And then to share what you're doing so that you can grow your business. So I love your topic. That made a lot of sense.
I love this, Tina. And again, thank you, Pastor Jeff. People asking where they can find it. If you go to the Zone of Genius YouTube channel, you can probably see this conversation. If you go to Ramon's Celebrity CEO Facebook group, you can probably see this live video. And my LinkedIn page, that's where you can see this live video. Thanks for asking, Pastor Jeff. Of course, if you don't want to just hear it, if you want to see Tina, people are like, Ramon, we want to see Tina and you. So you're getting a follower base too, Tina. So you can see it on those channels. In the future, our hope, starting April 10th, if we get this to work, will be just by going to bwcdaily.com. That's all you'll need to do to see it, because we'll be having that right there. So we'll be building this into a live video channel. If you're liking this, everybody, and I would love your feedback in a bit here. Maybe we'll do pause in a minute, Tina, and get to see if people want to join us, you know, on audio. But this is what we're bringing. This is what we want to bring, this type of engagement, and not just me and Tina, but we'll have different segments and have different hosts doing exactly what we're doing now, is what hopefully the new BWC will do. And by the way, that was Renee. And you have something to say, right, Tina? I love it. And that's what Tina did. Those of you can see it. This is another training lesson. Tina doesn't even know it. But when you don't have a scripted moment, that's how I can see Tina. So that body leaning in, if I'm aware, great. I know it. I'm going like this. She knows I see her. I'll finish my point and call her in. It sounds weird, everybody, but this is what I love. I cry easily. This is what I'm built for, this live, unscripted engagement. This is how it works. But I just wanted to say, Renee's like a fan of Tina's. I know Renee and Tina, they work together, but when you have a champion like that, a warrior, it's like, as Tamara said, I was her, what do you call the thing that David was to Saul? His, not bodyguard. His
armor bear.
Yeah, armor bear. Christina Howard on the spot. Christina Howard needs Christina, you're a ninja girl. Well, literal ninja. She served in the U.S. military, but Renee's that for Tina, armor bear. Thank you, Christina. Tarcina, take it away. Talk to me.
I love how you say how we're interacting, because as you were talking, I was like, is he ever going to be quiet so I can give my point? It was like no pausing, and I wanted to like shoot it in. But my question for you, hello, who is that?
That's Babs. Go ahead, Tina. It's Babs.
Hi. My question for you, Ramon, do you get these downloads of information? Because it's like you're always coming up with something. This BWC, live here is totally amazing. So do you get these downloads in your sleep, in the shower, and then do you write them down? How do you organize all the stuff that God gives you?
That's a great question. By the way, before I answer that question, we've been joined by Babs, international vocal coach, the person you just heard on Clubhouse, talking to us about speaking and all that. So welcome, Babs. We're going to continue on the show. I am Hey, Babs, I am so excited at this multiplicity. So on IG, you're hearing audio, Babs now, Tina and Ramon. Clubhouse, you're hearing audio, Babs, Tina, Ramon. And those of you on Ramon's social channels, you're seeing this. This is a preview of what we'll be bringing. Slightly less chaotic, but I like chaotic. A preview what we'll be doing April 10th. Host segments, but bringing in people to comment and talk more visually with it. I'll comment on that right now, Tina, and then Bab, join in on the conversation. As we go through a few points, I talked about my friend passing away, what we can do to be better prepared as entrepreneurs, joined by stars Tina, joined by Babs, and joined by Ramon on live video right now. So here's the thing, Tina. This goes back to what I was talking about with Larissa Harrington, and thank you. Catherine says it was a great question to you, Tina. I think, but feel free to push back and call me out on it, Tina. This is what I go back to when I think about the confusion as I try to be the best producer I can here as I'm switching screens here. As I think about what's my superpower, Tina, as Tina asked me, how do I get the ideas versus distraction? I believe this is part, Tina, of the superpower. So when Glenn Lundy gave me Breakfast with Champions, those who don't know, Ramon owns and is running Breakfast with Champions. Glenn Lundy is our founder, will forever be. But he said, he said, Ramon, you run it. And this has happened, some months ago, but I know the news, everybody doesn't know that. So I run it. And I knew that if I do something with this, Tina, good things will happen. I didn't know what. So my answer to your question, as Glenn Lundy has pushed and has said, hey, we're going to be on Twitter Spaces more, what I did, Tina, I said, ooh, this is an opportunity to more craft what I want and for me to put the producer role and more force an even bigger change of a live video show. So if that's helpful, so yes, I have a lot of ideas, Tina. Some of them don't work. Zoneofgenius.com. That's how that happened. And then Tina, feel free to get feedback, and then Babs will bring you in. But I think that zoneofgenius.com. I was tired of hearing people like Mike Zeller. I say it the good way. That's my boy. Zone of Genius. Babs, if you don't do this, you're not speaking in your zone of genius. I'm like, dang, GoDaddy, $9? Nobody has Zone of Genius? I'll buy it. So that's what I did. But Tina, get feedback on that, and then we'll bring in Babs, see what she has to say.
It sounds like you definitely do the hot potato act. Like as soon as it gets in your head, you push it out. Like the other day when I said, let's do a live, it was to promote the Dallas event. I was thinking about it and I said, you know what? I'm just going to text him right now. Might be typos. I don't care. I just want to get it out of my head into the universe. So it sounds like that's something that you do as well. So I like that.
No, thank you. For sure. We're going to try another experiment. If you're even in the BWC, I don't know, Christina, I'm going to leave it to your judgment. But if you do want to share that link out, Christina, in the chat, feel free to StreamYard. We'll see. Babs clearly got it before we hit it back again. Babs got that StreamYard link. It could be in the chat. So, Christina, I'm going to leave it to you. If it's too confusing, we don't need it. But this is good, especially people we know who are joining the chat. I'll leave it to you how to do it, Christina. I don't want to make your life too hectic. But thanks for rolling with me. Babs, welcome. Join on in, Babs. Join on the conversation. What have you heard so far? Welcome to the video feed. You're now streaming. People are hearing your voice on IG. They're seeing you on my platforms. And they're, of course, hearing your voice on Clubhouse. The mic is all yours, Babs.
Well, good morning. I was so excited that when I clicked the little button, I was like, oh my God, camera? I'm run to make sure I look like something. So
Absolutely.
I'm really excited about being here. I always learn so much from you, Ramon. You don't know, you have really catapulted my business to a point where I'm finally filling out one of these grants for it. I'm like, ooh, very nervous. But I'm excited about it because I know that we have quality content that so many people need, and we have to be able to do it. In Zone of Geniuses, that's what you are, my dear. So it's something that we all need. So I'm going to be looking even further into it. I'm super excited about joining you guys in Dallas in a couple of weeks. Woo! So I am looking forward to meeting each and every one of you and hope to get you on my podcast so we can find out what tools. We've been waiting on you, Ramon. You've been seeing my messages to you. I'm like, let's fast talking, Ramon. You have got to drop those tools to let the people know how they can be able to be as articulate as you are.
Well, I'm blushing several shades of chocolate. I'll just receive that and say thank you. And by the way, what's coming up in Dallas, everyone, just so everyone knows, is that we are gathering together the Champions Business Conference in Dallas on April 13th and 14th, which I believe is in 2 weeks. bwcdaily.com/Dallas23, bwcdaily.com/Dallas23, bwcdaily.com/Dallas23. Babs is joining us. Tina is joining us. And other attendees as well. We expect about 100 people, give or take. Could be a bit less. We'll see what the final number looks like. And I'm doing that in partnership with Trevor Houston. So I definitely want to uplift him, Tina and Babs. It's interesting. Trevor Houston and I have not worked together before like this. And good morning, friends on the Viet. Good morning. More people are joining us on IG. Good morning, everyone. You're hearing the sound of my voice, Babs International and Stars Tina. But we haven't worked like this, Tina and Babs. And I'm sure, as you all know, I personally have never been burned before in business. I know many of my friends have, but working with Trevor Houston and Christina Howard has jumped in as well. She's joining us and doing a lot of production with us as well. So thank you, Christina Howard, for that. I hope you all are following Christina Howard's profiles as well for a lot of the things she's doing. But it's been a pleasure. Him and I don't know what it is, Tina, but we just vibe. And I can't say that happens with everybody, just the humility that we have. Just like, hey, I think he has a Southern accent, kind of like, yo, Ramon, I had an idea. I thought that maybe, brother, we should invest in staging and lighting. It's going to cost like a few $1,000s, but I mean, what do you think? Should we do that? And I'm like, Trevor, man, what? But we just vibe. He could have just, we have that trust, and I think you build that. So I'll pause a minute here. Anything you wanted to add, Babs or Tina? And then we're joined by Ginon. And Ginon, when you're ready, let me know. We'll bring you on camera. I see your camera is kind of twisted there, so let me know when it's front center. We don't hear you yet, but let me know when you're ready. We're going to have you live on video, okay? No. Okay, that's a no. Okay, so this is live. Can I bring you live video? Let me know. Can I bring you live video, please? May I do that? Okay, I see the nod. Thumbs up. Here we go. Christina, this is crazy, but I'm loving it. Woo! We're a party now.
Love it. Ramon, I want to reply really quick to what you just said in regards to you, Christina, and Trevor, because I did have the opportunity of meeting Trevor when we were in Vegas and having the conversation with him. I was like, wow, he knows a lot about podcasting. And what you said is you have your zone of genius. Trevor has his. Christina has hers. Everyone in the world has their own. And I think when people are like-minded and they get together, it just like explodes like a, what are those things in the universe?
Like I'll go with that. I'll go with it.
Comets or whatever, just like exploding, making a whole new world. So of course it's going to be great. And I just love, I think for anyone, just find your people that have their zone of geniuses and put them together and
I love it, Tina. Listen, Ginon, thanks for being here. I know it looks like you're moving around traveling. You may not be with us the whole time, but Ginon, I could be pronouncing your name wrong, but feel free to say hi, say hello on mic, and let us know who you are and where what's going on in your world. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mignon Espy, and I'm on my commute to take my kids to school after spring break. That's Hannah. Say hi.
Hey, Hannah.
She's one of twins. The other one is home with tonsillectomy. I'm recovering from tonsillectomy. So she says, "Can you stop telling everyone?" Sorry. And I run a new business called 10, in which I help high performance women work through their care issues, especially if they're in the sandwich generation.
I love it. Well, listen, thank you for joining us today. And can you, if you want to give an Instagram or any way that we can reach you? If you don't want to, no problem. But you want to just give us how we can reach you. And thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. It looks like you thought audio only. This is video, but I'm glad you're here. One more time, feel free to tell us how we can reach you.
Sure. It's Instagram at Mignon, Mignon, last name Espy.
I love it. I am so excited. You made my day. Thanks for being here and hang with us as long as you want. But if you got to run off, no problem. I'm just glad you took the time to join. That was amazing as I do some production here. Wow, Tina and Babs, what'd you think? We had like our first, not only do we have our host come on live video, then we had our BWC kind of crew. You know, Babs had been with us. I heard her voice for some time. But we had then somebody whose name I didn't know join us. It's like one of those NBC woman on the street things. Tina, what do you think? Babs,
I think this is going to be so amazing for the community, because when you first get to BWC or to this community, you feel like an outsider. And this gives people the opportunity to have a seat at the table, literally seat at the table next to us, and knowing that we just want to share and change the world. So I love this. And she's on the street. Are you in New Jersey, New York? You're in New York, aren't you, Mignon?
I'm in Manhattan. I am in the middle of Manhattan.
Yes.
Harlem, USA.
I love it. I know Harlem. I do some work with Chase and some others up there, so we'll be doing some more. So feel free to DM me and hit me up. Babs, what do you think about this? How excited are you to have?
I love it. It is literally saying exactly what it is, having a seat at the table. I feel like I'm really in the Breakfast Club now, and so I can see who we're talking to and communicating. You make me want to run and get me a cup of coffee, because I'm like, woo, this is exciting, and it's something that is well needed, and I love the next leveled up. I really think that this is excellent. I think this is something that we can all continue to enjoy, and as we continue to expound. And it's nothing but up from here. Yay!
I love it.
Ramon, I have one more thing I want to share. So we all know how amazing this community is. And is that Megan? We have another person in here, Ramon?
Yes,
it
Megan
is.
Love it. Hi, Megan.
Is.
I don't know if everyone listening or watching is aware, but Ramon has a community. Not sure of the name of it, but it meets Monday nights.
Oh, yeah, Celebrity CEO. Thank you.
Celebrity CEO. And it's even an extension of this right here. So yes, we're here. But if you want to get even more live, more personal with him, with, learning and crafting your business, I just say tap into that, because that was amazing last week. If you want to grow your business, in a group setting. I love that. Just wanted to share that, Ramon.
No, thank you. And that's Celebrity CEO at celebritysceo.com as we evolve and grow that. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that so much. Megan DiMartino, welcome to the chat. Megan, talk to us, pour into us. Who are you, first of all? What do you do? And then join the conversation. You probably heard a few things. You heard we talked about with Glenn and Grant, talking about just continue to go forward. You're definitely a member here at the BWC. You heard us talk about all kind of things. Megan, talk to us. Share some knowledge with us today.
Well, good morning and happy Monday to all. I was listening to you on Clubhouse and I said, why the hey not? So, why not? So I came on camera. I have a consult at 8:30 at the Novitas Spa Medical Rejuvenation Wellness Clinic. So I'm getting ready for the day, but who am I? What am I? My gosh, I don't know.
Give us a tip. That's probably
okay,
tell us who you are, but more importantly, a tip and advice, and join on the conversation.
Yes. I'm a New York girl, deep in the heart of Texas, with a creative, serving, mentoring spirit. I've been creating beauty skincare products, medical grade, for 30 years, and I have a beauty and regenerative stem cell wellness clinic here in the Austin, Texas market, and I help people build their businesses. I'm a mentor of many. I do have a program called Propel Your Business and Life Activation Program, and I'm doing a deep dive on it every Thursday, Ramon. So I'm going to ask you to join us one of these Thursdays. But Tina has been on with me, and it's based on my 5 C's: clarity, courage, confidence, commitment, and compassion. And she did the C in March of commitment. So that's, in a nutshell, 30 years of my life, guys.
I love that. I love that. And leave us with one tip, one of those C's, which one not probably is most important, but talk about one of them briefly, and then we'll see what Babs thinks about that. And Tina, talk about one of those C's that gives you the most excitement, like you wake up, I gotta be in this zone. Talk about that.
I mean, at 6:30 in the morning, I would say, I would say clarity, guys, the first C, because if we do not have clarity on, not like you asked me, who am I, what do I do? You know, you have to have clarity. Otherwise, you're all over the place. You can say, I want to start a business. I want to, do X, Y, Z. But if you're not clear on the why, the because, you will just jump from one thing to the next. So really, here is the first Monday of April, first Monday of the quarter. It's, I'm working on the next quarter. The last quarter is gone. We're into this year, and it's clarity. You have to have clarity. You're always going to evolve, always, because and so you should not allow that to stop you. But clarity is the most important C.
I love that, Megan. And one more time, just talking to everybody who's live streaming across 4,892 different platforms. This is Breakfast with Champions. We're going to touch on clarity in 1 minute. We're going to hear from Babs and Tina. We've been joined by Megan DiMartino. This is Breakfast with Champions. You can get to know us better at bwcdaily.com. We provide one thing and one thing alone. That's all we can do. Nothing more, nothing less. One thing and one thing alone. That's motivation, education, inspiration with a high dose of positivity. That's what we do in this platform. You're probably hearing us live on Clubhouse. Thanks for being here, Clubhouse. And we'll pause in a minute to get even from our Clubhouse team. Forgot about them on IG. Thanks for being here as well. And then we're streaming across a variety of my platforms on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter Spaces, Twitter, and YouTube. I can't even keep up, Tina. But Tina, Megan talked about the power of clarity. Tina, talk to us about that, why that's so important, what that means to you, Tina.
So clarity is super important. And that's one of the reasons why I actually showed up on your live today, because I feel when people can see you, feel you, you're authentic. They know who you are. You're not hiding behind a filter, behind a whole bunch of makeup. I'm speaking for myself right now.
Gotcha.
But when you're clear with what you want to give out to the world, people can feel it. And it's easier for me to just take my gift. As you know, everything I take, I get from God, and I just want to bring it out to the world. And that's just it. I just want to share my story, share my gifts, so that I can make everyone else healthier and more fit. So that's what I believe clarity, and being specific. Like, I got on here today in hopes that someone's going to follow me so they can be healthy. You know, people die every day from high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, things that can be corrected just by eating differently, just by moving your body. So if you're listening to my voice right now, I want to invite you to do something to make your life a little bit healthier, not just for you, but for your friends and your family that love you and want you alive. I know it's challenging. My father died at 49. And if I would have known then what I know now, he would probably still be alive. So do that for me today. That's why I came on here. I'm clear with what I want to do.
And Stars Tina, one more time, just give it the best website to reach you. I know Stars Tina specializes in helping women live their best lives through health and fitness and more. Stars Tina, one more time, just audio.
Yes,
Tell us the best web link.
Super simple. You can go to starstina.com, STARZTINA, starstina.com, like the stars that shine every day so brightly.
And in a few minutes, we're going to open up for our Clubhouse audience. So get ready. If there's anything you want to say on audio, feel free to unmic in a minute. But Babs, Megan mentioned one word that I'm guessing is near and dear to your heart, Matt Babs, is clarity. Talk to us about that, Babs, for you, why that may be, I suspect, so important.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I just uploaded a video on YouTube today, my Motivational Monday, talking about quality, getting clear in your mind, clear in your vocal cords, because every morning you wake up, we have morning voice. How do you wake that voice up? Get it charged, ready, so you can be able to make an impact on the world. And clarity is definitely important, because if you're not clear, how is it that we can get from you so we can go out and do what we need to do? So you need three things. You need to be clarity in your mind, clarity in your voice, and clarity in your body, Stars Tina. And that's it.
Come on now. I love it. Megan's cheering. Megan's cheering as well. All right, listen, I'm going to take a quick pause. And again, Christina Howard, those of you who are seeing her on the Clubhouse side, I hope you're following this queen. Christina Howard is bringing it. So Christina, thank you so much for being our producer. And this is the kind of stuff we're going to be doing, especially for the BWC host, that we have, we're going to be doing April 10th. So definitely, as you're seeing, Tina's getting a taste of this, right? Of what this kind of chaotic sensibility will be April 10th live video. And Christina Howard, again, thank you so much. On the Clubhouse side, Babs, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to have 5 minutes of silence. Babs, you got to pray for me. I'm going to try it starting now because Ramon don't like silence. I don't like silence on the radio.
Good.
Okay, so here we go. 5 seconds. This is for our Clubhouse people because you guys are the OGs. We're going to be radio silent for 5 seconds. During that time, if you have something to say, unmic and say your name. Here we go now.
I know you're dying.
Happy
Ramon.
Monday. This is Mary Lynn.
Mary Lynn, welcome, Mary Lynn. Welcome. The new podcast host, MLM, Mary Lynn and Miles. Mary Lynn, the mic is all yours. Talk to us, dear.
Oh, well, I was just saying happy Monday. I love that we're venturing into new spaces. Wanted to say good morning to everybody. And you said 5 seconds, so I was hoping that was 5 seconds.
Oh, you would give me some time. I thank you for that, Mary Lynn. Anybody else? Thank you, Mary Lynn. Mary Lynn, you're an amazing human. Thanks for being here. Anybody else want to join us? And by the way, we've been just joined by the 12th most amazing human of the world. He beat out Stars, Tina, and Larissa to be the 12th. But anybody on the Clubhouse side, before we keep going here, want to unmic and join us on the audio side? Anybody? Cool. Okay. So we're going to go back to the live stream. All right. Pastor Jeff has joined us, everybody. Babs and Tina and Megan DiMartino are here. We're a cool tribe. I'm going to highlight you, Pastor Jeff, in the video. But Pastor Jeff, talk to us. You've heard the conversation that we heard with Grant and Glenn, talked about what to do with his money, talked about starting from zero every Monday, talked about, maybe you don't hit your goals, but in a good way. We've talked about clarity just now. Pastor Jeff, talk to us. Tell us what you heard today, Pastor Jeff. And again, so glad you're here.
Hey, Ramon, I hope you can hear me. I was looking.
I hear you well, man. Yes.
All of these beautiful ladies. And I said, Ramon needs to be joined by another handsome man. And so I'm glad that I made number 12. I have to work the goal to get to number 1. And what I heard Grant say, which I like, and we don't often hear, is the fact that be broke, don't have any money, and set those goals, higher than you can achieve. So you can find out what you can achieve. Because the truth is, Ramon, we really don't know what our capability is. I used to run cross country when I was in the military, and you reach a point where that lactic acid tells you you can't run another step. But your mind says that, but your body you can push it. And if you can get past that, they call it the second wind, you can keep going. And you don't know how many second wins you have. And so for those who are listening, look, don't give up. When you feel like giving up, that's the time to keep going. What is it? 3 feet from gold, you give up and you're right. I mean, it's almost, you can smell it. You can taste it. You can feel it. But your brain wants to tell you, it's not going to happen. So that's what I got, Ramon. And I'm just going to go on mute and enjoy hearing your pleasing voice and watching these beautiful ladies that you have as your guests today. Pastor Jeff, I inspire others to move from the mindset of a victim, that's right, to the mind shift of a victor. Back to you, Ramon.
Pastor Jeff, thanks for being here. Loved having you here. Great to have you here. And definitely everybody on the Clubhouse side, follow Pastor Jeff, look him up. And I will go on. Tina just reminded me I was on a roll talking about how we business owners can be prepared. So I'll continue in on that. And then I invite you all to jump on in. I'll pause after each one. We'll be going for about 27 more minutes. And as I say always, those who are on live video, as you have to go and come, no problem at all. If I see you're not on the camera, though, I'll just move you off the stream. But I'm glad to have Babs here, who's an amazing speaker coach. Glad to have Tina here, who's an amazing health and fitness coach, focused on women entrepreneurs. Glad to have Pastor Jeff here. He was the voice you're hearing that everybody was like, ooh, what's that voice like butter? Yes, I'm his agent. You send me a check for $20,000 and I will enable him to do a 10-second voiceover on your phone. And the amazing Megan DiMartino, who started a number of businesses, especially in the health and beauty space. So Megan, glad you're here. So I was on talking about somebody in my church died and passed away, and how that reminded me to be prepared as we can for whatever may come. Some things are a natural course of life. And actually, I'm going to do a quick thing here. I realized, just to show here as we're live testing. So what I have is a banner here, but I realized the banner, those who are watching the live video and just a host here, as we're playing and learning, when I hide it, we can see us all more clearly. So just that's a tip I'm learning to figure out. The banner looks nice, but I realize when there's several people, it's a little imperfect there. Those of you on video don't see it, but Tina covers the top of her head, and then Megan it kind of neck down, so it's imperfect there. So I think I'm going to leave it there only because I spent 10 seconds doing it, but we'll figure out a way to maybe we do a mode like this. Yeah, that's cool, we can do that. So bottom line is, so I was going through this, what to do, how we business owners and others can be more prepared. We talked about saving money, having savings for your family money. We talked about informing them of what you're doing so they understand your business. And I mentioned this term that I have, having a death folder. So my family and those who are not in my business, not if they're not partners, they don't know my business, what they can open it up and know what to get into. I called it a death folder. So the other thing, and this is a simple one, but Tina, I'll turn to you first, is just how we're talking about how to be prepared, is I wrote down hug and forgive. Sounds weird, Tina, but that her name was Sicione, the amazing person. When she passed away, right? And she was a good woman. I'm not saying anything negative about her, but it got me thinking, what if something happens to me traumatic? Did I hug my wife one last time? Did I leave in good mode with my daughter? And I know, Tina, you've gone through that. So it sounds like, Ramon, that's not finance fitness, but no, making sure I try my best to leave the house. The Bible talks about don't go to sleep on your anger, whatever. So Tina, I'm going to turn to you first. When you hear about this aspect of do our best, we're human. Yeah, Pastor just smacks me in the face, I'm going to get upset with the brother, but let me not hold on to it. Let me call him, Pastor Jeff. Listen, are we good? As best we all can. So Tina, what does that mean to you when you hear this hug and forgive?
I totally agree with the hug and forgive. And I personally don't think that people purposely try to be mean or angry or hurt other people. I think it's just something that happens and goes. So yes, if you already know that there's someone from your past or whatever, clear it up. Have the hugging and loving. I love it. Keeping it short because from experience, you don't get time back. Time is so precious. That's why being here with you, with Megan, with Babs, with Dr. Jeff, we're not going to get this moment again. This is history. So I love it.
It is indeed. And once again, everybody, we're on, and I'm going to turn to you, Pastor Jeff, next to comment on that. But we're here live, Breakfast with Champions, where we do motivation, education, inspiration. We never know who just joined. So hence, I try to repeat that. Maybe too much, but maybe we'll have an after to see how this went today. But that's why I do it. You never know who just joined. We're hearing the voice, if you hear audio, of Pastor Jeff, Babs, Megan, Stars Tina. That was just the voice of Stars Tina, as we do this on live video across a lot of my platforms. And then as we do this on audio on Instagram, these can see me on IG. And we do this on Clubhouse audio only with Christina Howard and Mary Lynn and Tara holding in the fort there. And starting April 10th, we'll be shifting quite a bit by God's grace and doing some things differently in this live video. You can see it at bwcdaily.com as we get more into do video like this, because I believe video is really powerful. Pastor Jeff, we talked about hugs and kisses and making sure you don't, leave the day like that if things happened. That's what we're talking about. Pastor Jeff, I turn to you. What does that mean to you when you hear about that?
Well, first of all, Ramon, I want to say that F comes in the alphabet before H. I think F is like 6, H is like 8. And so I say forgive and then hug. But there is a cliche in the health arena that says, it says that hurt people hurt people. I've added to that, Ramon. Hurt people until hurt people are healed. Healed people help other hurt people.
Yes.
And when we realize that, it's too many hurt people trying to help other hurt people while they're still hurt. And that hurt is to come out. And so you have to heal. I'm in the church arena. That's why I'm Pastor Jeff, even though it's my brand name as well. And so many folks will get up and they give what they call a testimony. They don't understand that for a testimony in the legal realm to be effective, somebody's got to die. So all that hurt and pain has to die before you get up and start talking about it and telling folks, you in the middle of your breakup and testifying how God's going to get you through it, and you got tears rolling down your eyes. It does not work, Ramon. You have to be through it. You have to have gone through your trauma and get to your triumph. You have to have gone through the pain and get to your prosperity. You have to have turned your message, your mess into a message, Ramon. That's what Pastor Jeff thinks, is we have to learn the process and we will be hurt. The shortest verse in the Bible is in the book of John, is Jesus wept or Jesus cried. And you know why he cried? Because he had a selfish moment. He was missing his friend Lazarus. And you know how I know that? I wasn't there. But the way I know it is because the record in the Bible is that in minutes after he cried, he raised Lazarus from the dead. Ramon, he knew he was going to raise Lazarus from the dead, but he gave all of us to grieve and to be selfish in our grieving, but to move past the pain and get to the prosperity. Back to you, Brother Ramon Ray.
Thank you. Move past the pain. There's no offering plate here, but I see actually, I have a crowd of people in front of my window right now. NJPD is here. No. He wasn't preaching a sermon. No offering needed right now. No. Sorry? You have a wire transfer? Okay, sorry. Pastor Jeff, the people out here want to come to church, but they love me.
I'll take all donations, Ramon. They'll go through you. I don't touch the checks out. They'll go through you. My agent. Everybody heard you, Ramon, said that you are my agent, and so you can't back down.
Not at all. Listen, Megan T. Martini, you've heard we talked about the aspect of forgive and hug and not leave things. Pastor Jeff just talked about, moving forward, et cetera. Megan, when you hear that, what does that mean to you? How important might that be for you and your advice for the audience here, Megan?
I'm going to talk about the 5th C, Ramon, which is compassion. Passion for ourselves, because we carry all of that baggage with us over the years. And that baggage gets heavier and heavier. And without compassion for self, obviously compassion for others is imperative, that empathy chip. But we often forget about ourselves and carry talking about someone passing abruptly, that trauma of all of those experiences of life and those sadnesses, disappointments, we just continue to add it to our baggage. And at some point we have to reflect not only on the past, but going forward and giving ourselves grace, letting it go. Because then how can you, be empathetic or like you're talking about giving someone a kiss goodbye and a hug in the morning and a good word. But if you're so bottled up with yourself and what you haven't done and what you haven't accomplished and a fear of going forward, it's just a compounded interest of negativity. So it's about compassion for self.
Truly. I love it, Megan. No, for sure. Compassion is so important. Babs, I'm going to come to you in 1 minute, but I want to do something. See if I can do this. A commercial break. Let me see. Oh, yes. Now we're in for a commercial break. Don't forget, everybody, this is brought to you by Kim Walsh Phillips' new book, The Shift. The Shift, Scale Your Business and Multiply Your Wealth Without Sacrificing You. Don't forget, Kim Walsh Phillips' book is coming up on April 11th. That was cool. I just wanted to see, could I put a commercial break in there? And I did. Okay, great.
But that kind of goes to compassion.
Yes.
It really does.
It does, Megan. Compassion. Babs, when you hear that, what do you think? What does this mean to you, Babs, this aspect of forgive and hugs and et cetera? Babs, talk to us about that.
When you are speaking or even when you are singing, they need to hear the words compassion come from your voice, not in you saying it, but actually feeling the emotion of your compassion as if you are concerned. Because if you don't have any type of emotion, how do you emote to be able to get to connect to someone else? This is important. And it's one that you most, the clarity is one, but compassion is definitely in there. So you can be able to speak to people. When I hear Pastor Jeff, which I expect him to look just like I hear him, But when I hear Pastor Jeff, I can always hear compassion in his voice. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that was so good. You know, it makes me want to say, oh, let me learn more about that person. So it's important that we take that time and listen.
Yes, indeed. This is wonderful. Again, we have about 15 more minutes to go and what I'll just call Ramon Ray's BWC show. Those of you who have been hanging out with me on Instagram, so glad you're here. Joyce and Virginia and Zakharov and others here on Instagram going in and out. Glad you're here. You're hearing a variety of voices and you're seeing me. Those of you on Clubhouse, once again, we have Michelle McLean saying, amen, amen, preach. We got Christina Howard saying, preach, and on and on and on. So glad for our loyal following here on Breakfast on Clubhouse, BWC. And again, we're live streaming across a variety of platforms here on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and a variety of platforms, joined by the amazing Stars Tina. You can probably just Google her name, Stars Tina Wilson, I believe, and I'm sure you'll find so much about her and her programs, but I think it's right, starstina.com. Yeah, starstina.com. We have Babs International Vocal Coach. You can find out definitely all things Babs, an amazing human who can help you up-level your voice more. Well, that's singing, so I don't know. I just messed it all up. And Megan DiMartino, who's an entrepreneur, started a number of companies, and her amazing, amazing companies that she does to help you with health and beauty as well. Megan DiMartino, thanks for being here. And Pastor Jeff, two black guys do not look the same. His glasses are slightly different than mine. He has a tie in case there's any confusion. Don't you get annoyed, Pastor Jeff? I know you've been annoyed by it. You go to an event and you're like, didn't I see you? You're like, that's the other guy. So I'm just saying, in case there's confusion, but Pastor Jeff, thank you for joining us here with a lovely melodic voice. And you can find all things Pastor Jeff as well. I was going through, I think, Tina, did I give you a chance to share on this, Tina? Okay, good. So going through again, 15 more minutes here. I'll just quickly go through as I was sharing. A friend of mine passed away, and it got me thinking, you know, what do we do to ensure we're prepared for anything, as it were. I put that in quotes. But the other thing I think is taking risk, and this is way beyond prepared for anything, but I think that sometimes I find, and I'll turn to you first, Babs, for this, is that we don't take enough risks. And I'm not saying there's different levels of risk. Some people burn all the boats, and Babs, don't feed your kids. Take your last dollar from your baby's diaper money and just build your business. I'm not saying that. Maybe some people are, but I do think some people are a bit too cautious. And I think in my case, Babs, there is a balance of that as I'm building this BWC news show here. But in this BWC news show, I find that's what's interesting, even in my case, is that some people are asking a lot of questions fairly, as they should. I don't have all the answers because I operate with a lack of information, which sometimes, Babs, is not good, but just giving polar opposites. On the other hand, some people don't move at all because they don't have all the information. So this aspect, my another tip here is that take some risk. Take some risk before your time and know that, you know, you stretched yourself a bit. You just didn't stay in a cocoon. Babs, what does that mean to you? Talk to me about that if you have anything to feedback on that.
My mentor told me, that's Dr. Sonia. She said, do it scared. Do it scared. If you don't take risk, you will stay in the same place you've always stayed. And who the heck wants to stay there? Anywhere but backwards. Do it scared. Open your mouth. It may not be the best. It may not be to the quality that you want it. And you may not have all that you want to have. But if you don't open your mouth and start now, you will never make it to where you want to go. Let's go, people. There is no exception of staying still. Why do I want to stay stagnant? I was brought on this earth for a purpose, and I expect to do it. So in order for you to get something done, get up off your butt. Let's go. Get up. Get on your feet. Let's go, people.
The pastor left and another one stepped in. This is amazing. And again, I want to give the Clubhouse audience time. If anybody wants to, I'm going to give another pause here. But if people are enjoying listening, that is fine. But I want to give the Clubhouse audience, get ready. We got about 13 more minutes to go in this segment before Dre Baldwin comes up. My name is Ramon Ray. We're rolling along here in the preview show, doing live video and streamed across platforms. Megan, when you hear, and thank you, Babs, for what you shared. Megan, when you hear that aspect of taking risk, what does that mean to you? You being a business owner, obviously you've taken a lot of risk over time. So what does that mean to you, Megan? Talk to us about what that means to you, taking risk and the importance, or if you disagree. And by the way, everybody, it's okay to agree with me. Tina can come back and say, Ramon, I disagree with what you said. That's wonderful. But Megan, take it away. What does that mean to you, taking risk?
I think it means it all. You know, my middle name is taking risk. Like you said, you cannot start businesses without a risk. There is no guarantee on any level. But I was given, I think I'm going to say a note card, a note from God. One day I opened this little book up and I was at a crossroads of a major decision. And this note said, the call to new beginnings is ringing in the air. It's reaching through the mist of everywhere. Stand tall, take the first step. The second and third step will be revealed to you. Psalm 37. So my point of the point is that if we do not take that first step, the second and third step, I guarantee, will not be revealed to you. So you've got to, again, it gets back to clarity. I wouldn't start an accounting business, Ramon. I mean, heavens to Betsy, right? But in my wheelhouse, in my zone of genius, I would absolutely take that first step. I'm always looking at new little segues into things, always, as you are too. And Tina said that earlier, you know, you close your eyes and have a new idea. But the bottom line is take that first step and you can flush it out. But if you don't take that step, nothing, and I guarantee you, nothing will happen.
Ooh, you got to, not even got to. I think it's so important, Megan. Got to take the first step. Tina, Stars Tina, talk to us this aspect of risk. What does that mean to you, Tina? What have you gone through? Talk to us about that.
Yes, I have 3 tips. The first tip is when it comes to taking risks, and I'm only speaking from my personal experience, it has been extremely scary being in the fitness industry. Sometimes I get that imposter syndrome, like I'm too old, I'm too fat, my complexion isn't, you know, all that sort of stuff. So yes, it can be scary to take these risks, which goes into my second point, which is believe in yourself, because any thoughts or ideas came from God. And if it came from God, then it's probably the right thing to do. And if you're coming from a good place, from an honest place, it is going to succeed. My third tip when it comes to taking risks is don't compare yourself to other people. Sometimes it's like, well, that person's posting like that and that person. No, I can't be Ramon. Ramon can't be me. So don't compare yourself to other people. If you're coming from an authentic place, it will come through. Yes, it's scary, but it's fun. You're like, who wants a boring ride? I mean, some people do some days. Some days I want that do carousel thing, but mostly I want the up, I want the down, I want the party. And that's what happens when you take risks. It's scary and it's fun. Those are my tips.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, we have about 9 more minutes to go. Thank you, Tina, for this. Let me see if anybody in the Clubhouse side, wants to join it. If not, Clubhouse side, it's okay. You all are our OG platform, so I always want to know anybody there who wants to unmic and join in audio. If not, no problem. But who wants to join in audio, just unmic and let me hear your voice. I'll give 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, cool. Good. So we'll continue. But this has been great so far. Renee says, tip from Tina, believe and trust in yourself and don't compare yourself to other people. I believe I'm going to start a cloning company and I'm going to clone only one person. I'm going to start a cloning company. I want a warrior, a cheerleader, want somebody in my corner. It's like Tina's gone and Renee is just on the ball. I mean, well, Christina Howard's kind of like that too, But I mean, Renee, give you that props, girl. You are just amazing how you uplift, support, partner with. I'll use that word, Tina. So glad, Renee, to always have you in here. Araya is here. She said, woo, woo. And she sends us loves and hugs as well. Araya, glad you're here as well. And Health Well Done is here as well on the IG side. So we're streaming across a variety of platforms. And you know what? I'm pretty darn proud of myself. Usually I get highly distracted, but I'm managing. I'm doing it here as well. And again, everybody, we have 8 more minutes to go in this segment. Here's what we're doing here. Live video experience, what we want to get more and more into as we help to broadcast and broaden the Breakfast with Champions community. I think what you're seeing here today, just those of us here on the 3, 4, 5 of us here on the stage, is an eclectic mix of honesty. And I genuinely say this, I kid around a lot, some of the smartest people. I personally learned, and I'm going to turn to you all on video here for the round of this, I personally learned so much being in this space. Dr. Jeannie says, this is impressive, Ramon. Woo! We got another sticker. I love stickers. I've upgraded my life and my business being in this community. I was already good, I'd like to say. Already a decent guy, pretty smart guy. I think all of us I'm seeing on screen have been, Megan and Babs and Pastor Jeff and myself and Stars Tina. We've accomplished things already 3 years before, right? We've already been okay. But I know for me, I found my marriage has been better. How I think has been better, meeting people like Danelle Delgado. And for some of you in the personal development space, Tony Robbins, people and others, maybe you've known this already. I've not been in this. I've not been a quote unquote woo-woo guy at all. So I'll just say that. And one other thing I want to say, Tina, I'm going to turn to you for feedback on this. Again, I think I'll move on with my points there. Hattie, welcome. Hattie's joining us too. And Hattie, I'll wait until I see you video center and a little more light in there, Hattie, and we'll welcome you to the live video as well. I'll know when you're ready when I see your video nice and centered there, Hattie. But is that Tina? I haven't been into yoga and all those kind of things at all. I was at breakfast with my some friends. One of these, I'll just call it bougie parts of New Jersey. There was like 50 ladies an hour coming out of this yoga studio. So my point to you, Tina, you already know it, but it's like, and Hattie, you're going to be on in 5 seconds. So get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hattie, welcome to the discussion. Let me just finish this comment, Hattie. Glad you're here. Saw so many people, Tina, coming out of this yoga studio. So briefly, Tina, because I want to see who Hattie is. Just, I mean, it's amazing that you don't know what you don't know. Who knew it was such a big business? Saturday morning, so many people. But talk about that, Tina, whatever angle you want to.
Let me tell you, yoga is game changer. Even better, hot yoga. It has everything to do with everything. That's when I actually won a scholarship to get yoga certified. So I'm a certified yoga instructor. It helped me a lot after my traumedy. And it has everything with your life. It gets you centered. It gets you focused. And did you know that there's face yoga? There's laughter yoga. There's so many things that yoga entails. So yes, Saturday morning, get there, get your towel, and there's all levels, whether you can stretch, whether you can't stretch. It's just super, super important. And join my yoga class. That's another thing.
And Tina, was it bad of me? And then Maddie, get ready. I want to bring you in as we have about 5 more minutes here, and we'll have one more round with Megan, Pastor Jeff, and everybody here. But was it okay, Tina, that I sit outside the yoga class eating my bacon, ham, and egg and cheese? Was I like, don't answer that, Tina. All right. Maddie, tell us briefly, Maddie, who are you? Welcome. Glad you're here. Why did you decide to pop on video and say hi to Pastor Jeff, Babs, Megan, and Stars Tina? Maddie, the mic is yours.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. Welcome.
Welcome. I'm Miss Hattie, and I ended up here because I'm Stars Tina's mom, and I follow her wherever she sends me. She sends a link, and I click on it, and before I know it, I was here.
I am doubly honored. Mom is in the house. Miss Hattie, thank you. Before Tina speaks, Babs, Megan, and Jeff, real quick, so we got 4 minutes. Let's pour into Miss Hattie and Tina. What does that mean to you all? Then I'm going to give Tina and her mom the last words. Megan, I'll turn to you first. How do you feel, Megan?
I'm blown away. The fact we're talking about clarity and compassion, Mama, I am so blessed that you are here. I love your daughter. I have, Ramon, you asked earlier about BWC and what we've gained from it. This is the quintessence of it. Share it right, generations. And Miss Hattie, thank you for joining us this morning. You've made my day, and just bless you and thank you for, joining us this morning.
Babs, talk to us. Thank you, Megan. Talk to us, Babs, briefly.
First of all, that shows you the fruit don't fall far from the tree. You see that? That means it's perpetual wealth. It's already building. That means and Stars Tina, I've been talking about you, by the way. I was talking to another one of my friends who is a trainer, and I was like, listen, she's out there. You got to keep talking. You keep showing and sharing. And I'm telling you, this is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Miss Hattie, for giving us such a jewel, because Miss Stars Tina is doing her thing.
She is. Pastor, thank you, Babs. Pastor Jeff, talk to us. How do you feel with, Miss Hattie, Tina's mom, joining us here live video? How do you feel, Pastor Jeff? Talk to us.
Well, Ramon, as I look at Miss Hattie, and the thing is, if you haven't been on Stars Tina's social media, then you didn't know who Miss Hattie was. Of course, I know who she is because she's all over the Stars social media. I mean, she's out there doing the doggone thing with the yoga and with the exercise. And the first commandment with promise is to honor thy mother and thy father, that the days may be lengthened on this earth. And it's even doubly impressive that mom is honoring the daughter as well. So that mutual honor between the two of them. I mean, look at them smile right now. I mean, I tell folks, Ramon, I'm going to say this, and I hope you give me a minute. I want to tell everybody, if nobody's told you today, you have an absolutely beautiful smile. Look, Pastor Jeff don't guarantee much, but I guarantee you, if you get yourself a mirror, a compact mirror, a hallway mirror, a bathroom mirror, I don't care. Just get a mirror. Get in front of it. Smile at yourself. I guarantee you, yourself is going to smile back. Take that as God smiling on you and go share that smile with the rest of the world this week, because smiles are contagious. I guarantee you, more people are going to smile back than they don't, and frowns are frightening. It's not Halloween. It's not April Fool's Day anymore. So smile. Back to you, Ramon.
Stars Teen, I'm going to give you the last word on this, and we have Dre Baldwin getting ready to come live as well. But Stars Teen, to give you the last word, and then Miss Hattie, I'd love to hear you at the end to give us a tip, give us a word of wisdom.
Yes.
Stars Teen to talk to us.
Tip of advice, guys. During COVID, my mother wasn't doing too well physically. So long story short, she now teaches a fitness class for seniors, 70s plus. We call it Silver Stars. So I saw where her health wasn't doing too well, so I poured into her. Now she's pouring into others every Monday, 12 o'clock on YouTube. If you want to see her, throwing it to you, Mommy, so you can get us out of here.
I love it. Miss Hattie, I'll give you the final word. Wow, please.
Thank you guys for having me. And I just want to give you a little tip or something I just found out this morning. I'm training for a half marathon home in Bermuda for next month. And I just found out that Tina's going to be running with me also, her and Renee. So I'm very excited. I haven't run with Tina in like 30 years, and I beat her back then.
And you're going to beat her this time, too. Tina ain't got nothing on you. She talks a lot like, oh, I can run, I can do this. Trust me, like in the real world, Mom, please. Listen, everybody, I'm going to end the, 1 second. I'm going to end the IG live stream. Everybody on IG, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us on the IG. I'm going to end this on my 1 second here. But thank you for being here. And with that, Miss Hattie, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you here. So glad to have you here. Bless you. Thank you. All right. Dre's getting set up. And Dre, if you hear me or you're ready and want to jive with me, brother, let me know. And we'll have you, we'll just continue this right here, Dre. Let me know what you want to do.
Yes. Good morning, Ramon. How are you, first of all?
I'm great. So in that case, everybody, what I'm going to do is, Dre, let me know if you what you can do is give me verbal cues, Dre. I'm going to remove most people here from a live stream from this one, but you run the show. You take the lead, and you just kind of verbally let me know what you want to do. I'm going to put you like this, if that makes sense. And I know you have stuff to share, but I'm going to back away, and if you're ready, have you lead the rest of it. Because, by the way, just so you know, everybody, welcome to Breakfast with Champions. This Ramon Ray. We're live streaming across a variety of platforms. In good imperfection, Dre Baldwin's voice you're going to hear now across my live streams. And you hear him on the Clubhouse side through my mic probably, or Dre can tell me if he wants me to mute. But Dre, you go ahead and take the driver's seat and let me know how we're going to do this.
Yeah, so I want to ask you a couple questions because I need to get some clarity. Cool. So we're going to keep this StreamYard going while I'm going?
For your segment, yes, since you joined, absolutely. Yes, we will.
Okay, perfect. All right, just wanted to check. So I'm streaming from like 4 or 5 places right now. So hopefully my Wi-Fi is, I pay it as much as I pay for it. It should keep it going.
I got you.
All right, what we got going here. So, yes. How was your weekend, first of all?
My week was great, man. And then as well, let me know if you want other hosts to join. I think what I'll do, Pastor Jeff and I'll stay for a minute, but when you're done chatting with us, I'll take us off video, and then you can verbally bring us back on. You can say, hey, why don't you join me, unless you want us to stay here. However you want to.
You can bring everybody on. I don't mind.
Okay,
I'm not distracted. We can we can keep all this going all at the same time. What's going on, Pastor Jeff? Good morning, sir. I see you over there on StreamYard.
Good morning to you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate you. So I am live in, all right, we got StreamYard, we got Facebook, we got Instagram, we got Clubhouse. So I got 4 of these going at the same time. So Ramon, I want to ask you 2 things I want to ask you about. You got a couple minutes here?
I got time.
You keep this going? Okay, perfect. So next Monday, we're going to be changing to a new schedule here at Breakfast with Champions, and we're going to be going video. So for the people who are on Clubhouse and the people who are, let's say, watching me on Facebook, Instagram, what do they need to do differently, if anything, moving forward?
I love the question. So yes, as Dre said, we're going to be going to a new format, brand new programming, one cohesive live show, just like Good Morning America, except a lot less budget. From 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. That's what we're doing, a brand new show, all new programming, all new timing. That's one. If you want to see the live show, all you have to do is go to bwcdaily.com. That's it. Possibly bwcdaily.com/live, but bwcdaily.com to see things like this live programming. And we will still restream the feed to Clubhouse, and we will do our best to restream it to Twitter. But the bottom line is we're moving to video. So if you like engagement and you want to have some fun and jump in things like this, we'll be doing video a lot more. That's what the intention is to do, Dre.
Okay, perfect. So, and this is all in the name of, in the spirit of stepping up what we're doing here at Breakfast with Champions. That's the direction that we're headed here, just so everybody understands. All right, so thank you for answering that question. And here's the other question I have for you before I even get into my segment. So in the back channel here at Breakfast with Champions, for anybody who doesn't know, all of us moderators, we have our own WhatsApp conversation going on. And Ramon, you posted a poll in the back channel, and I want to ask you about publicly, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
And the question was, it was 3 things that you asked about, and I didn't get the question because I think it was a misspelling. I wasn't trying to even be a smart out with it, but I didn't understand what you were asking. But so it was 3 things you had in there. So it was a poll. It said, I think it was $5,000 was one option. It was 30 minutes with Oprah was the second option, and the third one said bestseller. It was missing the S, so bestseller. But you meant bestseller. I didn't know that you were asking, like, which one do you want? That's why I was asking for the clarity. But anyway, between those 3 things, $5,000, 30 minutes with Oprah, and a best-selling book, which one would you want? Now, I know what my answer was. I want to know, Ramon, first of all, what was the overall response you got? Then I want to know what your answer was and why.
Yeah, great question, Dre. So here's the overall response it was a mixture. It was a mixture of Oprah and $5,000. So that's that.
Okay.
And then the second question you asked me is, I was curious, Dre, what was important to people like me and you? Influence is the wrong word, but we do a lot of content, video. We sell books and all that, but we're not selling, mascara or cups. It's our intellectual property. So I was curious who that was. And my one pick was probably, Dre, 5 minutes, not just with Oprah, like in a back room, but on her show. And the reason why, for me, that's more important than $5,000 a month.
That was 30 minutes, not 5 minutes.
Oh, 30 minutes, whatever. Yeah, the time was.
Okay.
Meaning is because the $5,000 a month, it's good, but it's nice. It'll help me a little bit, but I could probably make much more than 5,000 if I had 30 minutes with Oprah. I would use that, remix it. It would just transcend my whole brand. Possibly, maybe worth, be practical, not millions, but that could be worth $500,000 for me in the course of a year with me having 30 minutes with Oprah. So that's why I picked that.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for answering that, because my answer is pretty much the same. I answered the same. I said the 30 minutes with Oprah because, of course, the $5,000 would be like an immediate thing. I could do something for $5,000 right now. And the best-selling book, I can leverage that. But 30 minutes on Oprah's show, I could leverage that for the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. And her audience, the size of her audience is worth way more than $5,000 or anything I could do with a book. So that's why my answer was my answer, but I appreciate you asking that. So that dovetails right into what my topic is going to be today. And for those who don't know me, let me quickly introduce myself. Let me introduce the topic first. Topic today is how to collaborate with other businesses and other people. That is our topic, collaborating with other businesses and other people. For those who don't know me, my name is Dre Baldwin. Many know me as Dre all day. I'm a former 9-year professional athlete. I'm the author of 33 books. I don't think any of them made the bestseller list, but I have sold a lot of books. I don't think I fit the criteria to get on that list, but I have a lot of books, 33 books, done 4 TEDx talks, create this whole brand called Work on Your Game. It's all about taking the mental tools and the strategies to help athletes get to the top 1% in sports. And we translated those tools over from the sports world to the business world to help professionals perform at a higher level, be more consistent, and make more money. So today, what we're going to talk about is collaborating with other businesses and other people. How do you do this? Why does it matter? We're also going to talk about leveling up in relationships. That's something that I was jumping in and out in your segment there, Ramon, and I heard you talking about relationships and the value of Breakfast with Champions and how it's helped you level up in your own life and just leveling up with the type of people that you've met and engaged with here at BWC. And also, if we had time, we'll talk about how to just get yourself out there and get seen, heard, and known in your career, in your business, and anything that you're doing. But I got a lot of material here. I don't know if we're going to get through all of this, but we'll get through at least 2/3 of what I have possibly moving forward. And I think this is going to be the last hour that we're going to be doing for the foreseeable future. So see how much of this I can get through. So let's get into it. Since we are in, everybody, what I call the collaboration era. Collaboration era is the era of The people who have the most opportunity, the people who are making the most happen, the people who are moving forward the fastest and the most consistently are the people who are collaborating. That means the people who have the relationships, the people who can make a phone call, the people who can get their text messages responded to, the people who can get their emails replied to, people who know other people. That's where the value is these days. That's where the opportunity is. That's where the big money is at. Those of you who are interested in any of those things, you need to have the relationships. Now, there was a time about 20-ish years ago where all the power was in having the information. You had access to information, or you had access to, let's say you were a gatekeeper and you knew things other people didn't know, you had the power. But now that's kind of been democratized to where anybody can pretty much access any information they want, as long as you're willing to look for it, as long as you're willing to read it, as long as you're willing to take it in. That's where the power is. And I talked a few weeks ago about this concept of the Dream 100. If you didn't hear that segment, it might be in the BWC podcast archive. I'm not sure if I'm not definitely sure if it's there, but I know it's somewhere around that I did that segment. It's time to talk specifics on how you can actually collaborate with other people, other entities in the marketplace. It doesn't even have to be a person. It can be a business. How can you collaborate with another entity and generate more business for yourself? And then there's ways to take all of this and make a full game plan out of it. And you can build your whole business around this concept. But you need to understand how it works so then you can move forward and actually make it work. So let's get into it. Point number one, collaborating with other businesses and other people. Number one thing you need to do before you even reach out to another person is you need to know, how will you make this a win-win situation? You're going to collaborate with somebody. If I'm going to collaborate with, I'm looking on stage here on Clubhouse. If I'm going to collaborate with Christina or Yan or Aria or Ramon or Jeff or Michelle or Megan or Tara or Dora Maria or Dr. Jeannie, I need to know, how can I make this a win-win situation for me and them? How can I get something out of it? How can they get something out of it? You have to set up your collaboration so that everybody benefits, so it is worth the investment from every side of the situation. All right. And that means the people that you collaborate with, how are they going to win in this situation? And also, how are you going to win? And how's the audience going to win? Because if y'all are collaborating, usually you and them are doing something for a group of people. So how is the audience going to win? How are you going to win? How are they going to win? And the reason why this matters, everybody, is because if they don't feel like they're going to win, or the audience isn't going to win, or you're not going to win, then one of those three groups is going to reject the collaboration. So therefore, nothing's even going to happen. All right, so if I reach out to Christina, or I reach out to Stars Tina and say, hey, let's collaborate on this, it can't just be what I'm going to get out of it. It can't just be what they're going to get, and it can't just be what the audience is going to get. We all have to be getting something. And when we can figure that out strategically, now everybody's going to want to move forward and everyone wins. And if it involves money, well, there's also a fourth win. So this is not just a win-win, it's a win-win-win, because the audience is the third win. There's also a fourth win, because in the United States, at least, the government is going to get a piece of whatever we make. So that's 4 wins. So win-win-win-win situation that we get in that process. So you need to figure out, how does everybody win when you're going to collaborate with another person? And the way that you start this, you want to do this from the beginning, is make sure that everyone knows the expected outcomes. Everyone knows what is expected of them, the process, what the outcomes are going to be, who's responsible for what. Needs to be clear communication in the entire process. And you, if you're the one who brought this whole idea to the table, need to make sure that you are spearheading the process to make sure everybody's getting what they're expecting to get out of it. All right, this is the only way that you have a winning situation. And why this matters as well, folks, is because you want to be able to come back. We're talking about the collaboration era. This is all about the power of relationships, which means you want to make sure every deal that you do, every collaboration that you make, that the person that you work with, meaning your clients, your customers, your co-collaborators, they're all happy with what happened, because that means you can go back to them in 6 months, let's do it again. You go back to them in a year and say, hey, let's do another one. But you can go to them when it's done and say, hey, who else do you know that might want to collaborate with me on a similar deal? And they'll say, oh, well, you know what? You should work with this person. You should work with that person. You should all work together in this process, because I did a deal with Tina and it went great. I did a deal with Yan, it went great. I did a deal with Pastor Jeff and it was amazing. I did a deal with Megan and it went amazing. You know what? You should do the exact same thing. So this is why you want to make sure that you're doing positive collaborations with everyone that you work with, so that they're all willing to do more things moving forward. And Ramon over there on StreamYard, the link you could put for me is workonyourgameuniversity.com. That's better than my Dre All Day link, but I appreciate you putting the link up there. So point number 2, We are talking here today about how to collaborate with other businesses and other people. Number two, communicate clearly and often. All right, being that we're in the collaboration era, folks, biggest thing you need to be doing is communicating. All right, the collaboration era is about relationships, is about people, is about connections, meaning you need to communicate. You need to be a good communicator. You need to be a clear and frequent communicator. When you're working with other people, sometimes we make the mistake. This is the biggest mistake that happens in collaboration these days is, well, the first one is what I just told you, is not figuring out a win-win situation. You're only thinking about what you get, but not what they get. The second biggest mistake that people make is you think that mistakenly that other people communicate the same way that you do. Some people simply have a different style of communication. Doesn't make you or them right or wrong, but you need to understand how other people communicate so that you are communicating on their level. And sometimes you have to move to meet people where they are, and sometimes they got to move to meet you where you are. And hopefully the two of you can meet somewhere in between. So for example, some of you are the type of people who communicate a lot. For example, I have people who I'll send a message. Like I'll use Ramon for example. I'll send Ramon a message on WhatsApp and I'll ask Ramon a question and he'll send me back like a kind of a stream of consciousness response. He'll send me like 8 different messages in answer to that one question because he'll think something, he'll say something, then I'll send another one 2 seconds later, another one in 30 seconds, another one in 45 seconds, another one in 30 seconds. And that's the way that he communicates. So he communicates like that, and I understand that. So I know, moving forward, that I adjust my communication with Ramon based on the way that he communicates, because I know he responds that way. I have other friends, for example, though, when I send them a message in WhatsApp, investments for all of us who want to attend. And that's how it starts. And I think, Ramon, and I'll speak for you, you can let me know if I'm right or wrong, he's thinking past the sale. He's not thinking, all right, let's just maximize